All right, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, 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 and how is everyone doing today? Welcome to my full week of streaming, a full 5 straight days of double streams. So, welcome everyone to the very first day of those 5 straight days of double streams. I, of course, am Darkside Phil, and I wholeheartedly welcome you to the fun. What's up, my friends? So, let's talk a bit. Today is Monday, June 18th, 2018. I'm pretty excited and pumped for today. In particular because today, I'm continuing on with my Half-Life 2 Patron's Choice playthrough. That's right. Yesterday was a pretty successful session of Half-Life 2 where I was actually able to advance through the game, through the early parts of the game that normally I quit playing. I've actually attempted to play Half-Life 2 not once, not twice, but 3 freaking times over the years. Once when it was actually new, okay, then later on when the orange box was released, and then again, all offline. This was all before I had ever become, a content creator for the internet. And so, I always basically get quit during that hour and a half segment when you're on the freaking boat. I always found that it was just kind of annoying. To be quite honest, back then, I wasn't as good of a gamer as I am today. I mean, I've been doing gaming now professionally, meaning for a living, for 8 straight years. Been making content for the internet for 10, so now I'm much better versed at games like this than when I used to just, out of nowhere, I'm just going to play a first-person shooter. You know what, I would jump into a game like Half-Life and die. So, very different, okay, very different situation. But that being said, every time I tried to play this game in the past, I would get frustrated and die a bunch in the segments where you're in the hovercraft / boat, and I never got past it. I think the furthest I ever got was that I just got the gravity gun, and then I stopped playing the game. So now I'm past that. I'm in Ravenholm, and the game has completely changed, and now it's more like survival horror, and it's pretty good. I'm really liking it. I'm digging it, and I hope that you guys are enjoying the playthrough so far. A few things about it. Number one, this is a playthrough that I am playing on console because it's easier for me to control. It's easier for me to capture. I was afraid trying to play this on PC, we'd have frame drops and the like. And quite frankly, the game's very old. It's not like it needs 60 frames per second at all. It's a more narrative-based game, although there are, some challenging action segments. It's not like this is competitive online multiplayer of some first-person shooter where 60 frames is going to make it so much better, right? I've been having pretty much no problems with the game at 30 frames, and the game looks decent. It's not going to look amazing regardless, because it is such an old game. It looks decent, and I'm enjoying playing through it. It's kind of funny because some people were talking about this in the stream chat earlier. When this game was released in 2004, it was groundbreaking. Like, the animations, the detail in the characters, the motion capture, everything that was done in the game was, like, revolutionary. At the time, most games had really primitive-looking character models. They had really primitive animations. And this game just stood way above everything else. Now you watch it, and you're like, well, now it definitely looks outdated. But it is 14 years later, so not surprising in that regard, right? I still think the game's fun so far. It's holding up. So, I hope that you guys are enjoying the playthrough. Now, the other thing is that I have been using an overlay for this playthrough. Alright? It's very minimalist. It's one that was designed by a viewer. And I said, what the hell? Let's give it a shot for this playthrough and see how it goes. And for the most part, most people are saying it's good. They like it. There's been one complaint. And this is a person on the forums who apparently does really just detests overlays in general. And they have posted up that they are staunchly against me using overlays for playthroughs moving forward. They feel that overlays are just going to add to distracting people from the game, and it lends itself to having mass advertisement. And he says, eventually, if you keep heading down this path, in 1 year's time, you'll have the game in a tiny little box in the corner, and you'll have 400 ads all over your stream. Now, I can certainly understand why some people feel that way. I mean, if you guys look at a lot of other streamers, and I'm not going to name names or anything, because I'm not even saying there's anything wrong with it, but there are a lot of other streamers who have crazy amounts of promotion all over their streams. They've got advertisements for a sponsor, they've got links to a Patreon, they've got these things constantly on the stream when you're trying to watch. You got tickers going across the bottom and everything. You know what I mean? So I understand if you watch other streamers, if you're afraid, because I'm kind of the polar opposite of that. I advertise purely on the pre-stream, and then once I start gameplay, it's all about the gameplay, right? I'm not going to interrupt my gameplay to plug something or do this or that. For me, that's always kind of been like that, right? So for me, I can understand why there's a concern. Definitely, 100%, I understand. I'm walking in this guy's shoes, and I'm like, you know what? I could see why he's afraid that using an overlay could be what do they hit? The gateway drug. The first step down the slippery slope, right? But I do want to reassure you guys that I don't think that that's going to happen, all right? I seriously don't think that my entire gameplay is going to become 100% about advertisements. It's not going to be. First of all, I can't get any sponsors anyway. I never would be able to. It's just real talk. I would never get any sponsors because no one will sponsor me because there's so many jerks, you know, who follow me along on the internet and just troll the shit out of everything. So why would a company want to be associated with that? That's number one. Number two, yes, I do have things to advertise, like my Teespring or my Patreon. But as I said, I talk about those on the pre-stream. That's good enough. And that's it. That's where I leave it, you know. And the bottom line is, guys, I am missing out on a huge audience. If you guys aren't aware, if you just watch my videos on YouTube, you don't ever hear advertisement. If you don't watch the pre-stream videos, you never hear advertisement at all. You wouldn't even know that I have a Teespring or a Patreon. Seriously, because I don't plug them in the videos. So, you know, I get 1 to 2 million views a month over on YouTube, and none of those people pretty much partake in anything because they don't even know that it exists. But I'm okay with that because I want my gameplay to be about the gameplay. I don't want it to be distracted by constant pop-ups and advertisements and the like. You know what I mean? So that's the bottom line, guys. That's why that's the deal. Okay, that's why. Now, am I saying that I wouldn't use more overlays? No, in fact, a lot of people right now, people are saying to me, you know, the overlay for Half-Life 2 is good. We like it. So, in fact, the same person who made the overlay for Half-Life 2 also made overlays for Vampire and Jurassic World. And they're actually even more minimalist. He saw the feedback from the guy on the forums, and he was like, all right, well, watch this. I'll do it even more minimalist as possible. So he made, like, the most possible minimalist things. And I'm debating trying them. Like, tonight for Vampire, maybe I'll try this overlay. I mean, we're almost done with the Vampire playthrough, and let's face it, it's not a very popular playthrough anyway. But just as an experiment, you know, I may try it tonight and see how it looks and get feedback from you guys, because that is my second stream tonight. But it's good. I like experimenting. I listen to feedback, and people, you know, say, wow, it's refreshing to see little aesthetic changes around here. You know, when we just got the new emotes a couple weeks ago, people really liked having the new emotes in the stream chat. It was something different, right? So we'll see. I'll show you guys later on tonight when I play Vampire. If you're here for the second stream, give it a look. See what you think. Share with me what you think about the overlays. I'm not saying these overlays are here to stay. I'm just saying if, you know, people like them, it may be something that I can do, right? So there you go. All right. So there you go. Anyway, Half-Life 2 continuing on my first stream today. I'm looking forward to it. I really like the game. Having a lot of fun with it. All right. And I hope that you guys are having fun with it too. So I'm going to continue on today. Very, very fun. The other thing is, as I said yesterday, if you guys are enjoying the Half-Life 2 playthrough and people show up and participate during the streams and are saying, yes, we want more, I would not be against playing both episodes 1 and 2, which are the 2 expansion episodes for Half-Life 2, because they came with the orange box. So I have them, and I wouldn't be against, I've never played them at all. So I would not be against playing them, you know, continuing on after I finish the vanilla Half-Life 2 story. If that's what you guys want to see, I'm okay with that. All right. So be sure to, you know, as you're watching, let me know if you're enjoying yourselves and if you want to see more. I would not, you know, be against that at all. In fact, I'd be very much for that if people like it, okay? All right, so more Half-Life 2 today. Later tonight, it will be Vampire continuing, as I've already mentioned, and we're getting near the end of Vampire. This is a game that I've been playing for 2 weeks on and off. I really haven't played it that much in the last week. Only one session, okay? So we're in the middle of Chapter 5. The game apparently only has 7 chapters, and only 6 of them are real combat and gameplay. Chapter 7 apparently is all narrative to end the game. So chances are within another couple sessions, I may beat the game. So tonight, 2 more hours of Vampire. We'll see how that goes. I'll try this new overlay and see what people think. Tomorrow, Jurassic World Evolution will continue on stream. You know, a strategy sim game that I usually don't play that genre. So I went outside my comfort zone, and I've been doing pretty good at enjoying the game. I've actually beaten 3 of the 5 islands in the campaign of the game. So we're heading right into Island 4 this next session that I start playing. And we'll see how that goes. Plus, again, I have another overlay that maybe I can try for that and see how people think of that overlay. All right. Could be pretty fun. And then tomorrow night, I'm going back to H1Z1. After a week away, not playing it, going to do a fun online multiplayer session at night, H1Z1. Okay. And then Wednesday, we'll return back to Half-Life 2 to probably more than likely wrap up the main campaign and then determine if it's one I want to continue on with Episode 1 or not. Okay. Wednesday night, I'm going to be doing more Vampire. And it may even be the end of Vampire depending on how far I am in the game and how well I've done. Thursday will be probably more Jurassic World Evolution and probably the conclusion of Jurassic World Evolution, I'm thinking, depending on how good I've done. And then Thursday night, I'm going to do some Street Fighter. More than likely, it's either going to be Street Fighter Alpha 3 or Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Those are the 2 games in the collection I haven't played in the longest amount of time. So I'll probably ask you guys what you want to see around then, and that'll determine what game I play Thursday night. And then on Friday, guys, it's the premiere, thanks to a fan who's donating the credits to buy the game, the premiere of Mario Tennis Aces. Alright, I've never played a Mario Tennis game before. I've never owned one, I've never played one. So this is something completely new and original and different for me. And I'm looking forward to see what it offers. I honestly don't know how much content the game could offer because tennis is tennis, you know what I mean? Singles and doubles, what else will there be unless they have a ridiculous amount of mini games in the game? I can't imagine what kind of content this game is going to have, alright? So I guess we'll see this Friday firsthand together. And depending on how that stream goes, I may or may not stream more of it. Keep in mind, guys, that when I play Nintendo games, first-party Nintendo games, I make no money on YouTube because Nintendo claims all the videos. So for me to do an ongoing playthrough of Mario Tennis would basically mean that, number one, it has to be, you know, entertaining enough to keep going. And number two, that people kind of are, you know, let's be honest, supportive here on the streams to constitute me playing more than just a session of it. All right. So I guess we'll see how things go on Friday. All right. So that's kind of the week. Friday night, I'm leaving open, completely open to see, you know, what we want to do Friday night on purpose. So that way we can say, oh, gee, I need one more session of Vampire to beat it. Let's do it. Or, oh, man, you know, one more quick session of Half-Life or whatever. That's kind of how I'm approaching it. Okay. So we shall see how things go during the course of this week. So that's the rough schedule, guys. That's about it. Outside of all that, the only other thing I really want to quickly talk about before we get to the plugs and the shout-outs is, it's kind of funny. I'm actually not specifically going to address any drama on this pre-stream, but it's funny to actually kind of go into it. And let me explain. Over the weekend, people took something that happened on stream on Friday night completely out of context on purpose to make me look bad. All right. And if you actually look into the situation, meaning i.e. the chat logs of everything that happened, you can see that what I've done was 100% justified. And in fact, I was being kind of nice in this situation because there was a person who had been banned from this chat, no lie, 4 times, but always somehow found a way back, apologized, said they wouldn't do it again. They kept getting banned and kept coming back. Okay. Finally, it was the straw that broke the camel's back on Friday night when they were spamming the stream chat constantly, saying all kinds of crap. No one's paying attention to me. I've got a virus. I'm depressed. Basically doing stuff to get attention and also making fun of me. All right. And I moderated them appropriately. And first, I actually gave them a chance. I said, all right, since you're spamming the stream chat and you want attention because you're saying you're depressed, tell us what's going on. And the person then said, oh, well, I'm not paying attention anymore. So I said, well, you derailed the stream chat. I'm timing you out. Right. And I did. I timed him out. And then after he came back from his timeout, he basically insulted me and said, I don't believe that Phil's depressed. Blah, blah, blah. So he got banned. And it wasn't even me that banned him. It was another moderator. Because basically all night, this guy was trolling and derailing the stream chat. And it's all there in black and white. If you actually look at the chat logs, it's all there. But what happened was, So, these people who hate me, they take stuff out of context. They take just the moment where I'm like, okay, so you say you're depressed, let's hear it. And they basically cut out everything else to make it sound like I've personally isolated someone in the stream chat who said they're depressed and I'm trying to insult them, which isn't what happened at all. If you were actually here and you saw what was going on, you knew exactly what was going on. And wow, that was totally warranted. This guy was being a jerk. In fact, earlier, I mean, this is not even exaggeration. Earlier today, okay? Earlier in that day, so earlier on Friday, the guy had already been kicked from chat by the bot because he was using all caps and using homophobic slurs. So the bot, I mean, he already would have been permanently banned earlier in the day if a human had seen it, but he was using all caps and the bot caught it and timed him out anyway. So this was a guy who was a massive offender. He had constantly been trolling and using swear words and doing all kinds of stuff you're not supposed to do. And it was just a chance that he was still in here on Friday night to begin with. He probably should have been permanently banned beforehand anyway. So that's the whole situation. But it's hilarious to see these little ninnies of the internet who love drama. So they'll look at something completely out of context with no frame of reference whatsoever of what's going on and say, this is what Phil did, when in reality, that's not what happened at all. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because what I think I found a strategy to kind of relieve my stress. Because here's the deal. If I had blown up and yelled and screamed and got all upset about the situation over the weekend, and if I had made a big video about it or whatever, right, it would have probably just made matters worse, and people would have just said, oh, well, all right, well, Phil's innocent on this one. What about these other 14 things from the past that Phil did? It just would have continued. So that's why I really didn't really bring it up over the weekend or nothing. I just kind of ignored it. And I was like, whatever. Saturday was my day off. I paid no attention to it at all. Yesterday, I mentioned it briefly on the pre-stream. That was it. I'm not going to go crazy over this crap. I'm just not. It's just a waste of time. Anyone who looks at these situations in reference to what's going on, in context, knows the truth. All right? Problem is, most people won't. They're lazy, and they just want to believe the drama. But anyway, last night, I was kind of, pissed off at the whole situation. And I went into, because by the way, I logged the chat. Just so you guys know, this chat room is logged. So anytime I could go back and actually see what happened in a given situation, this is very important, especially when you have chat members who argue with each other or he said, she said situations between mods and chatters and stuff. There's been many times, when I've been told that a moderator was doing something wrong. And then when I went back, it was the polar opposite. It was actually the chatter who had been doing something ridiculously wrong multiple times. And, basically just trying to blame everything on the mod to make the mod look bad, when in reality it was the complete opposite. So it's a good thing I have that, because if there ever is a situation where I need to get to the bottom of something, I have chat logs, So I was able last night to go back and just look at chat logs at this guy who I had, dealt with on Friday night. And I was like, my God, like if people just saw the stuff this guy had said, like I said, here's a guy using blatant homophobic slurs for no reason. No one even triggered it. He just did it for no reason. This guy was a blatant troll. And, to see stuff like that, I was like, it's ridiculous. But again, no one would do that, right? So anyway, what I did, I wanted to get it out of my system. So last night, I probably spent about 10 minutes, and I typed up the whole situation, what had happened on Friday, the history of this guy, including his offensive messages previously, the fact he had been banned 4 times in stream chat before this. I typed it all out, and by the time I was done, I felt better, even though I didn't post it anywhere. I didn't post it to Twitter. I didn't, make a video about it. I didn't put it on a forums. I didn't go to the Reddit thread slandering me and post it up. Instead, I just typed it out, and I said, that's refreshing. I said, that's actually refreshing. And I was like, yeah, I didn't even need to. I didn't even need to say it publicly. Because the bottom line is, I knew it wouldn't have. I knew that if I had gone ahead and went on the internet and said, no, listen, here's the full situation, I'm defending myself, blah, 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 it wouldn't have helped anything, because immediately people would have went back and said, yeah, well, what about this time last year, this time 2 years ago, this time 4 years ago, this time 8 years ago, that's what they do. Oh, okay, well, you're absolutely right, this time, it was us over-exaggerating, but here's another 8 times, keep defending yourself. And that's what I found since ever since I've been an internet personality / someone who's on the internet constantly, needs a constant internet presence, right? This is what I found, is that people will do whatever to make you look bad no matter what. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. Exactly. Master Saru said they moved the goalpost. Exactly. Is that they will never, if someone is so dumb that they would look at something that's completely out of context to make you look bad and believe it, they're going to go ahead and believe negative stuff no matter what anyway. So I could sit here for 8 hours today, and you could throw every possible negative thing at me, and I'm sure some things I would say, yes, I was in the wrong, and I'd apologize for, and other things, if I actually explained the whole and elaborated the whole situation, people would understand it better. It wouldn't matter. At the end of the 8 hours, they would still say, aha, and here's this next thing, you know? So, there's no point. For me, it's just focusing on the positive, continuing on with fun stuff, fun streams, you know? And I want to say thanks to those of you who don't get wrapped up in this kind of crap, because it's a waste of everyone's time, is the bottom line. Is it for us to sit here and hash out crap like this? There's really no point, right? So anyway, I think that moving forward, actually writing stuff out, okay? Oh, by the way, Anonymosaurus Rex, your message was timed out because you spelled something wrong. That's what happened. Anonymosaurus is wondering what happened. He put the words something and out together, which happens to form a certain word that's banned in here because people use it all the time to make fun of me. And that's what happened. But I can see your message, and I will give you a shout-out for it, Anonymosaurus. I actually caught it in Muxy, so I will give you a shout-out for what you said. But you're right, yeah. Actually, like, writing stuff out or saying stuff, just getting something out of your system. Me just actually typing out my defense, not even sharing it with anyone, made me feel better for some reason. It just did. So, that's interesting. That may be something that helps you guys, too. Maybe sometimes in life, it's not exactly the right thing to say something or do something, but instead just typing it out or writing it down in a journal or, you know, a log somewhere may be a good way to help stuff, okay? Alright, so anyway, guys, that's enough of that crap. Like I said, I'm not going to get into it, but thanks for listening. Now it's time to do some plugs quickly, and then we will do some shout-outs, alright? So first some plugs, then I will give you guys credit for your cheer subs and tips here on pre-stream, of which there's been all, so that's awesome. As you guys can see, by the way, there is the stream stats leaderboard today. So yes, if you cheer, sub, or tip, you will be getting an update on the leaderboard if you are the top cheerer or the top tipper. I will also be keeping a running tally of how many subs we have. Also, it's a new week, guys. Monday is technically the new week for Twitch. So, as you guys can see, the weekly cheering leaderboard on the stream chat also has reset. So now's a great opportunity if you want to get up there and get noticed. If you cheered today, chances are you're going to get on that leaderboard, okay? All right, let's do some quick plugs. Then let's jump into the shout-outs, and then let's get to gameplay. Does that sound good, my friends? I hope so, because I am ready. I am ready. All right. So, guys, thank you very much. For 10 years, I've been around creating gameplay content for you on the internet. Starting off on YouTube, later on going kind of direct capture and upgrading my stuff, going from a hobby for 2.5 years, turning it into a job in a way I've made a living for the past 8. And now, you know, live streaming, which has also evolved over time. Everything has changed and updated and evolved in 10 years. I love what I do for a living, and I want to say thank you guys for making this possible for me. All right, now that being said, the best way for you to be supportive is to watch the streams and videos. No kidding, right? So, thank you to everyone who does. I do appreciate that you guys come and hang out with me every day here on Twitch, or you watch the videos on, you know, when you have a chance on YouTube, okay? But all that being said, if you would like to go above and beyond being just a standard stream viewer or video watcher, and maybe you'd like to contribute a little bit more, there are a few ways that you can do so. Number one, you can check out my Patreon over at patreon.com/darksidephil, where your monthly pledges obviously aid me in the cost of operating the business, right? But also, you earn personal perks for your contributions. In particular, the best perk, in my opinion, is the $5 perk level, where if you pledge $5 or more, you're able to nominate and vote on games for events. And right now, the upcoming event that we already have qualified for, thanks to so many people subbing to my Twitch channel this month, so thank you to those who did, is a Rageathon, where you're going to be picking games that are going to cause me incredible amounts of frustration and rage here on the stream, all right? It could be anything. It could be a platformer, could be an action game, a sandbox game, a fighting game, a puzzle game, a shooter game, anything, all right? It could be a game I've played before. It could be a game I've never played before. Everything is fair game as long as it's a game that's available to be played. And what I mean by that is it has to be a game that I can actually access and not, don't tell me, oh, here's an obscure game for, the Commodore 64 or something. There's no way to play it, okay? So, yes, if you pledge $5 or more to my Patreon this month, you will be nominating and voting on games for this event. All right? Pretty awesome. Right? Pretty awesome. And I certainly hope it ends up being a fun event. By the way, FYI, that event will take place in August. I've already said it's going to be sometime in August. August is looking like a pretty dry month for game releases, so it'll be a perfect time to do it. So yeah, please consider pledging to my Patreon. Patreon.com/DarkSidePhil. By the way, that's not the only perk. There's many other perks you can get. I'm not going to go into detail here on pre-stream about them. Give it a look. Thanks to everyone who is a pledgee already, and thanks to anyone who considers becoming a new patron in the future. All right. Number 2, I have a Teespring shop where I sell merchandise, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, stickers, mugs. I think there's pillows on there. There's all kinds of stuff, okay? I can personally attest to the quality of the product, folks, because guess what? I own a bunch of it. In fact, and don't freak out for my hair because I think my hair is sticking straight up. It is sticking straight up. Look at that. I'm wearing the shirt today. It's the Skull design, King of Hate design. One of the longest running designs, in my opinion, one of the best ones. All right. I've owned this shirt for a year. I've worn this on stream more than, say, 15, 20 times. And take a look. It's perfect. Not a single issue with the shirt, right? None of it has worn out. Why, honestly? Because I pick the higher quality shirts. I don't sell you guys the low grade stuff. I pick the higher quality shirts. It means that I make less money on any sale from my Teespring shop, but it means the stuff lasts, all right? In fact, here's the same design in my mug, and I've been using this mug for a year, and as you can see, no fading, nothing. The mug is perfect, right? Teespring stuff is great quality product, and it's a cool way for you to get a fun collectible, and everything that you buy from my Teespring shop, I get a small commission from, and it helps me out too. Okay, so please consider checking it out over at teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. And, definitely consider getting something if you are a fan. And if you do, thank you very much. Okay? All right, now, certainly last, but not least, my friends, if you are here live on the stream, and the reason I say it like that is because some people are not. Some people are actually watching this on demand on YouTube, okay? But if you are here live on the stream, and you're enjoying yourself, and you're having fun, and you want to get a shout out during the course of today's gameplay stream, if you either cheer with bits, subscribe to my channel, or tip me, if you do any of those 3 things, I will give you a shout out with a few criteria that I'm going to cover right now, all right? Number 1, please, if you want a shout out, be as short-worded and concise as possible. The quicker you say something, or the more abridged that you say it, the higher chance I'm going to read it on stream fully and respond to, all right? If you try to get a shout out with a giant 14-sentence paragraph or a Shakespearean soliloquy, I'm probably not going to read that whole thing because it's going to take too long and it's going to derail the whole stream, all right? Number 2, please try to be on topic. Please try to be positive. Please don't be toxic or insulting. And please don't try to bring up controversial subjects. Perfect example, please don't bring up religion or politics. Everyone, has a different opinion on that stuff, and a lot of the times people can't handle differing opinions and will start trouble. Please don't come in insulting me, insulting others, bringing up drama and negativity. Phil, did you hear that this guy said this about you and made a video about this? I don't care. This is not the place for it. I've already addressed some of that on pre-stream. I'm done with it. It's now time for a fun and positive place, and a place where people can hang out and just enjoy, my gameplay experiences live and have a fun social aspect to it, right? Not to come in and be hearing drama, seeing people insulting each other left and right. There are plenty of streams out there that are focused on drama. This is not one, all right? So, let's keep it positive and fun for everyone. All right? Sounds good? In general, guys, 95% of people get it. There's probably about maybe a 5% of the people who try to cheer, sub, or tip to get a shout-out who are bad apples and they're doing it on purpose to get attention or whatever. and that's fine. It is what it is, guys. You know, they're always going to have that bad element, and there's nothing you can do about it. But in general, my streams are very positive and fun. People would not be here daily if they weren't. So thank you guys for that, and I hope we have a good one, all right? Now, if you'd like to go one extra step further, and you'd like to maybe get an actual animation played during the course of today's stream, all right, in celebration of your contributions, you can get that. Now, what you need to do is either cheer 50 bits or more at one time, or if you subscribe to the channel during the stream, if you wait a few minutes, a share button should appear. So if you click on that share button, you'll qualify. Or if you tip me $5 or more in one go, any of those things, you will get an on-screen animation as a thank you. It'll play your message, all right, and give you both visual and verbal recognition for your contributions. Pretty awesome, right? Wow, there's one right now. As I was saying that, one animation popped up. It was pretty quick, so I will definitely give credit to that person as I'm going to do shout-outs in just a moment, okay? Now, two more quick things, and then we'll get started with the shout-outs. Number one, subs. Subs have been great. You guys have been very, very, very supportive. I mean, we're not even 2/3 through the month of June. I already qualified for all of my sub goals, right? And to the point where I don't even want to set up a tier 3 sub goal because I have a really good idea for next month and I don't want to spoil, and I also don't want to have too many events going on. I mean, right now we're doing Patron's Choice. There's another Patron's Choice coming up. There's a Street Fighter event. There's a Rageathon. I don't want to now have the whole summer's 12 events, and now, you know, I overpromise and I underdeliver. You see what I mean? So, thanks for your support. But even though there's no tier 3 sub goal for the month, you still get great benefits for subscribing to the channel outside of supporting me. The first would be you get access to all the emotes. The DSP Pepe emote, which is ever popular. However, there's been great new emotes recently, including the DSP Ryu emote, the Hadouken and Fireball emotes, you know, all fighting game related stuff. But I'm playing Street Fighter now at least once a week. So it's great stuff to use during those kind of streams. Of course, there's many other fun emotes as well that you can use not only here, but in other people's streams if you are a sub. So that's number one. Number two, I don't have, well, I don't, or let me try this again. You don't have to watch advertisements when I run ad breaks. Not to say that I run ad breaks frequently. I don't. I probably run ad breaks less than most other streamers. I only usually do once a day. But when I do, you don't have to watch the ads. That's another benefit. And number three, you get the cool Chat Crown badge. All right, it's the loyalty badge for being a subscriber. You start off with bronze. After 3 months, it goes silver. After 6, it turns gold. In a year, it gets rubies. And then in 2 years, it goes diamond. So, pretty awesome. And thank you to anyone who is an ongoing supporter or subscriber. Please consider subbing if you're not, guys. It's a great way to not only get recognition, but to help out and to get some cool stuff out of the mix as well. All right. And then, guys, last but certainly not least, again, if you've been wondering how to tip, because I mentioned several times in the past couple minutes, tipping, right? And you might say, well, what is that? It's separate from the Twitch stuff, right? It is. You know, Twitch has cheering and subbing built into the interface, but not tipping. Tipping is completely separate. How do you tip? Well, there's two ways, all right? If you're watching the stream live right now, if you scroll below my stream on my Twitch channel page, you should find a grid of information, including publicly listed rules, a link to my YouTube channel, DSPGaming, where I archive all of my footage. And there's also a thing there that says Tips Jar. If you click on the Tips Jar link, it'll take you to my tips page on PayPal, where you can either leave an anonymous tip or your name in a message if you'd like to get a shout out on the stream, as I've already mentioned during this pre-stream. Or maybe you look below the stream here and you don't see anything. It's blank. I don't get it. Well, that might be because you're on a mobile version of Twitch, and that's perfectly fine. If that's the case, if you just type !tip into the stream chat, you will get the link to pop up that if you click on it, you boom, you will be able to leave a tip there via the PayPal page. All right. So thanks to everyone for your contributions. You guys keep the stream going every single day. You allow me to do what I love for a living, and I'm ever grateful for your ongoing support, especially during crappy weekends like this last one where the entire internet wants to basically say negative shit about me. That's completely untrue. It's awesome that I have your support and you guys come back every day to hang out with me and have fun. Pretty nice, right? All right, let's go ahead and do some shout outs because we got a lot of shout outs to get through here, guys. All right, first of all, thank you to those who contributed overnight when I was not even here. All right, I was not live streaming yet. The two people who did so were Golden Colts, who did a 90-bit cheer, and right before I started my stream this morning, it was Brunus Martins who subscribed to the channel. So thanks to both of you for your contributions when I wasn't even live streaming. That's pretty awesome, okay? But now, for those who did contribute while I was live streaming, First, we had Crash B Fan, who subscribed to the channel. And by the way, what I'll do is at the end of doing shout-outs, I will check for a sub update and see if the subs have gone up or down. But thank you, Crash B Fan, for the sub. I appreciate that. Anonymous Rex Charity said keep the overlay. So he's addressing the overlay that I was talking about for Half-Life 2. He seems to like the overlay. And he's not the only one. A lot of people actually said this actually looks pretty good. You know, versus just the plain kind of direct capture layout you usually do. It makes it look a little bit more spiffy. So, I will keep the overlay for Half-Life 2, and like I said, I will probably experiment moving forward if someone makes overlays for upcoming games, and we'll see how they look, and go from there, okay? Alright. Shout out to Game Master 2003 is dead again, who cheered 135 bits and said, I can't stay long, but here's some bits. Well, thank you very much. Game Master 2003 is dead again. I appreciate that. I received an anonymous dollar tip, and it says, if you were donated an Xbox One X, would you play multi-platform games on it since they would run better? Your Xbox One would not collect dust if you chose to play the multi-platform games on it. Well, let me put it this way. Here's a few. I don't want to sound ungrateful, but I'm going to be very honest and matter of fact with you guys, which I hope you respect. Right now, my problem is with my PS4. My PS4 seems to have constant issues with audio. Half the time when I try to play a game on my PS4, my audio doesn't work in my headphones. And I have to unplug and replug and unplug and replug and unplug and replug. And sometimes that doesn't work and I have to restart and reboot and replug. And it's a pain in the ass. Alright, in addition, my PS4 in the past has had issues with USB devices. Not so much recently. It seems like maybe it's been solved because they did do a system update a few weeks ago. And I think it might have solved my issue because I was having issues where it was telling me too many USB devices, even though all I had was the headphones plugged in. So I've been playing fighting games, Street Fighter on it with the joystick and never had a problem. So that's a good sign. So maybe that's been fixed. But the bottom line is my Xbox One already gets so little use. I don't have any problems with it. You know what I mean? Like my Xbox One, I haven't had a single real problem with it. Versus my PS4, because I've played the hell out of the console, seems to be the console I'm having issues with. So, to give you some perspective, would I accept a donated Xbox One X? Absolutely. Would I play cross-platform or multi-platform games on the Xbox One X if I received one? Yeah, there's actually probably a strong chance that if it is, if it's my newest console, right, and since I'm having problems with the PS4, maybe what I would do in that regard is I would save the PS4 more for PS4 exclusives, right? Which, of course, there are many of. So that way, if I'm not using the PS4 as much, then hopefully the PS4 won't die, and I'll be able to still play it for the exclusives, and then I can play the multi-platform games on the Xbox One X. But, even if all this happens, there's still a chance that this PS4 is going to die anyway. You know what I mean? Like, even though you could get me an Xbox One X, it could still die, and I'm now in dire straits again. So I would say this. Yes, absolutely. If I were to be donated an Xbox One X, yeah, I would definitely play more games on the Xbox. I mean, just hands down, it's the newer console. And I don't see why I wouldn't, especially because games would probably run as good, if not better, right, than regular PS4 on the Xbox One X. So I'd be okay with that. But at the same time, it's not going to necessarily solve the problem. The problem right now is a dying PS4. See? So, I wish that if you donated me an Xbox One X, it would solve all my problems. It won't. So, I don't want to sound ungrateful. It would be awesome. It would be absolutely awesome if you did, because basically that would allow me to have, a PlayStation situation where I'm not using it all the time. So, if you're absolutely serious and you're interested, please contact me via email, darksidephil@hotmail.com, and we'll talk about the situation. I don't want to give any promises or make you feel, like I'm committing to something until we have a discussion. All right. So thank you for the dollar tip. Okay. And thank you for the offer, and let's chat about it. darksidephil@hotmail.com, and we'll chat it up and figure stuff out. Okay. All right. Moving on. Shout out to Zacko056. Zacko056, who shared 149 bits and says, have a good stream, buddy. Watching from Oz. Yes, Zacho earlier told me that he lives in Australia, and this is the first real stream he's caught live, and it was like 3 a.m. there, because Australia is almost on the exact opposite side of the globe, the other side of the planet from where I am in the United States. So, thank you, Zacho, not only for the cheer, but thank you for watching. I know it's pretty crazy you're up that early watching, and I hope you enjoy the stream. Okay. Shout out to Vagina Ice Cream. What on earth? Who tipped me $1 and said, good luck on Half-Life 2. Well, thank you very much. What a name. It's all in the name, they say. Shout out to Yusuke14K. He says, sorry to cause this little drama, but I actually went to one of your troll streams who was playing the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection. He was raging at the game worse than you ever have when you were playing Ultra Street Fighter 2. Talk about hypocrisy. Well, that's the thing. The people who criticize, I say criticize, which is hilarious because it's not criticism what they do most of the time, but the people who talk about me the most typically don't want to have that kind of scrutiny that they apply to me applied to themselves. They just want to have me be the guy who has to be held up to the high standard and the high regard, but who cares? They can do whatever they want, right? It's like they say, may the person who's never sinned cast the first stone. And, of course, on the internet, it's like, well, just fucking slander everyone because we're all anonymous. And that's kind of how it works, so. Alright, shout out to FL Gibson 97, who cheered and said, have you ever thought about seeing a therapist for your depression? I have in the past. I mean, it was a while ago, but I have seen a therapist for depression. Twice, actually. Once when I was younger, a teenager, when it first started, and then later on in life. Kind of had I say probably around the mid-2000s, when it, at one point when it was getting pretty bad. But you know what? Sometimes it helps and sometimes it doesn't. I personally don't want to talk about my experience because I don't want to turn people off from seeing a therapist because it can actually help a lot. For me, it didn't. Okay? But I don't want to say, oh, you shouldn't do that because I've heard for a lot of people it actually helps a ton. Where I was at that time in my life, I don't think anything was really going to help me. That's how deep, kind of shitty, in its shitty position, deep down, crappy I was. Alright, anyway. Onward to more positive things. Rave Comic cheered. He says, to be honest, DSP, you're in the green here, but no one's going to listen to you. It's a mob mentality on the internet, and there's no changing things with these people. You're right, Rave Comic. You're absolutely right. You know, if they're going to take anything that I say or do and spin it into a negative, it doesn't matter. It actually does not matter what the real situation was. It's like I said, last night, I was feeling shitty about the whole situation, and I literally typed out, line by line, the chat dialogue this guy had said, how he'd been banned previously, the horrible homophobic slurs he had used, and things, the reason he shouldn't have been in the chat to begin with, and how he really didn't have depression, and he was trolling me, and yada yada yada, and I typed the whole thing out, and I'm like, I could tweet this right now, and it wouldn't do a lick of good. It would not do a single lick of good, because the people who want to slander and defame me will do it anyway. They'll just go on to the next thing, move the goalpost, as Master Saru said, and it won't help. So what's the point? I mean, for me, it was actually therapeutic to just type it out, but there was no point in me doing anything with it, because they would have just moved on to the next thing. So, you're absolutely right, Rave Comic. At least there's people like you, and people like everyone on the stream right now, who have fun with me every day and realize that this shit that people say doesn't even happen, right? It doesn't. It's just nonsense. So thank you for that. Anonysaurus Rex cheered. Now here, Anonysaurus, is why you got kicked by Nightbot earlier. He says, a diary journal helps when you have to get something out. And he made that one word. He forgot to space it, which of course created a word that is banned in the stream chat. So he says, a diary journal helps when you have to get something out, but sharing it openly, publicly wouldn't help. I agree with you. Now, personally, I can attest to that. After last night, I kind of figured that out. So, all right, Knows Nobody did a 50-bit cheer and said tee-hee and an emo. Thank you for the cheer. Anonysaurus Rex did a cheer and said, what's the parameters of the Rageathon? 3 games over a 5-hour stream. No, the Rageathon will be a typical marathon, meaning 7 to 8 hours. All right. And what I'm hoping for is maybe we can get 5 or 6 games. Because bottom line is, if I'm really raging, I'm not going to want to play it for more than like an hour. I know I'm going to lose my shit if it's a game that's very fucking frustrating, right? So, if there is a game in particular that warrants more time, I'm okay with that. But I was thinking maybe 5 or 6 games. That way we could do, maybe an hour for each to build the rage and then allow me to have a cooldown period before I get to the next game. So yeah, that's going to be the Rageathon, a typical 7 to 8 hour style mini marathon where I play a variety of games. Okay? All right. Shout out to Murdoch, who did a 200-bit cheer to become the cheerleader for today. So by the way, Murdoch, I will put you up on the leaderboard because you are indeed the cheerleader right now. Let's get him up there. Thank you very much. Murdick, wait a minute. That's not his name. Murdick. I screwed that up. There we go. Sorry about that. Oops. Okay. All right. So Murdoch says the following. He says, since Germany delivered such an abysmal performance, I am now ready for some Half-Life 2. See, I'm not following the World Cup. I'm not into football. So I don't know. Apologies if Germany is your team and they are out because they sucked. My apologies. Okay, let's continue. Captain Dark Filbert did a cheer. He says, where did the King of Hate come from? I mean, what I can tell you is what it's evolved into. I couldn't tell you originally the original thought I had in the early 2000s, 18 years ago. But what I can tell you is what I do is I take all the negativity, right? And I take all of the things people say and do, right? Phil, you suck. You can never do this. You'll never be successful. You're not good enough. You're not strong enough. You're not this. You're not that. And in my life, when I've heard those things, I've used it to fuel me to continue to succeed. And boy, in the past 10 years that I have been an internet presence for doing what I do now, have I heard a ton of this shit, right? But instead of letting that stuff defeat me, which it does get to me, by the way, it does build up stress, it does build up frustration inside of me. But what I do is I use that to motivate me to keep going and do better, to inspire me to say, you have so many people saying you can't do it and you're a bad person, you're worthless. Prove them wrong. Every day, prove them wrong. And, it motivates me. So I'm the king of all that hate that comes towards me, and I use it to turn it into a motivational force to continue going. All right? That's really what it means now. Now, again, back 18 years ago, what was the original thought process behind it? I have no idea. I don't really remember that far back, but that's what it's becoming, okay? Okay. Shout out to iPepsi 2017, who tipped me $10. Thank you very much, iPepsi. You are actually the top tipper for the day. So hold on. Let's get you up on that leaderboard. Thank you very much, iPepsi, for the contribution. And iPepsi says the following. By the way, good to see you, iPepsi. Haven't seen you in a bit. He says, here you go, Phil. I hope you have a good day. Are you excited for Fallout 76? Are you going to play the beta, which comes out next month? I don't know if you heard about it or not. Well, based off of everything we've heard at E3, I am on the fence about Fallout 76. And the reason being, it seems to me the game is literally Destiny in the Fallout universe. There's no actual main narrative story. It's just going out and doing missions based on what the game is telling you is your current mission. It's highly co-op based, meaning without co-op, it's probably not very fun. I mean, there's not even any NPCs in the world. It's just you interacting with other humans and killing generic enemies over and over and over. It's basically a looter shooter. Now, there is a little bit of variety in the aspect that you can build your own base and defend it. So maybe there is one aspect that's a little different from the other looter shooters out there. I do like the Fallout universe. And so having a Fallout-style looter shooter may actually be gearing a game like this more towards me. But that being said, I'm not 100% sold on this game. I'm just not. I'm not convinced that this game is going to be great. It could be just like Destiny, just like Division, just like all these games. You go and play it for a week. You go through all the grindy-style missions the game tells you to do with your friends. Next thing you know, you're done. And you're like, well, what else am I supposed to do? Oh, wait, we're going to add new high-level missions and more grindy shit. Well, that's not what I was looking for. Fallout, typically I'm looking for a great narrative story. I'm looking for, side questing and fun exploration. I'm looking for this and that, not just grind. And is this game just going to be all grind, grind, grind? I don't know. I mean, we won't know till it's out. You know, there's no way to tell. So quite frankly, I don't know. Now, apparently, if I pre-order the game, all right, if I pre-order the game, I would be able to get the beta and play in the beta. And I think people are saying the beta is going to go live to some extent next month. So maybe I'll pre-order it just for the sake of getting into the beta. Although it sucks because if I pre-order it and I hate the beta, and I pre-ordered it digitally, I already pre-ordered it digitally. You can't cancel your digital pre-order. You already bought the whole game. You know? So I don't know if I want to do that. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I want to do. Real talk, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. More than likely, I am going to be playing it. Only because, like I said, I am such a fan of the Fallout franchise. And since they're adding the elements of Fallout to a looter shooter, it may make it a better game for me. It may not necessarily actually be a good game, but it may be a better style of looter shooter for me. So, all right, I don't know. We'll find out. I don't have a definitive answer for you yet, but as we get closer to it, I may have more information for you guys, okay? And more than likely, I am going to play it. All right, shout out to PS Geek 23 who did a 100-bit cheer and said, Phil, I've been busy with work. Here's some bits to help you out. I will check out your stream later on YouTube. Take care. All right, PS Geek. Have a good day at work, hopefully, and hopefully you enjoy the videos later. Murdoch did another 200-bit cheer, still the cheerleader for today, and said, since Germany delivered such an abysmal performance, I now am ready. Wait a minute. It's the same cheer from before. Huh? For some reason, I see a duplicate cheer from Murdoch, and I don't actually know if Murdoch did cheer twice, or if this is a bug with my Muxie. It's literally identical word for word to the other cheer. So Murdoch get a double shout out. I don't know if he actually cheered twice or not, but anyway, thank you, Murdoch. There you go. That was weird. Okay, shout out to Anonysaurus Rex, who cheers. I just want to say thanks for persevering. People take you for granted, but you're really a phenomenal guy and content creator. Thanks for being you. Thank you very much, Anonysaurus, for the kind words. I appreciate that. All right. I've received a $2 tip from your dying PS4, which says in a ghost voice, Phil, why don't you love me anymore? We loved Knack to remember. Hey, I like the PS4, man. I do. I like the PS4. I have no issues with it. Like I said, this console generation, it's been my console of choice just because of the great exclusives and the fact that most multiplayer games have a ridiculous amount of players in them on the PS4. That being said, I play this so much that things dying on me, you know. So we'll see how things go. Murdoch cheered again. He says, oops, did I do a double cheer? Sorry. Oh, so I guess Murdoch did do a double cheer by accident. There you go. Well, still, it's much appreciated, Murdoch. Thank you for that. Knows Nobody did 100-bit cheers. Have you seen Dread from 2012? I believe that was the one with Carl Urban, as Judge Dredd. And the answer is yes, I did. And I believe I liked it. Although I saw it quite a long time ago, years ago. I think I did like the movie. Overall, I thought it was pretty good. Although, honestly, the original Judge Dredd with Sylvester Stallone is still pretty good too. It's campy, but it's fun. So, okay. Thank you for the cheer, Knows Nobody. Brunus Martins has cheered 250 bits, which has dethroned Murdoch. And he has become the top cheerer for today. So let's get him on the leaderboard. Thank you, Brunus Martins, for the cheer and the support. I appreciate that. And Brunus, did I spell it right? Yes, I did. Brunus Martins. Brunus says the following. If I could get this centered. There we go. Brunus says, huge fan of your streams and Half-Life. Would love to see you do the other 2 episodes. Good luck. Well, there we go. We've got 1 vote to do the other episodes. I actually saw a few other people in stream chat saying I should do the other episodes earlier when I mentioned it. So we'll see. We'll see how stuff goes this week. If people really like these streams and are coming out and supporting and watching everything and, it's going to hold interest, I would definitely do the other episodes considering I've never seen them before. I have no idea what's in them, so. All right. YOLO Dopper just cheered. He says, here in my state, police are shutting down all massage parlors because they're suspecting them of giving happy endings. It's sad because I enjoy weekly massages. Well, what can you do? And not to say that every massage parlor is probably guilty. They're probably not, But it's sad that you know, sometimes it's that mentality. Like, for example, when you're in school, and someone did something wrong behind the teacher's back, and the teacher's like, well, either this person fesses up or we all get punished. It's like, wait, what? How is that? How does that work? So you're going to punish an entire class for the actions of one individual just because you weren't observant enough to catch them in the act. Now everyone gets punished. How does this make sense? Right? It makes no sense at all. So it is what it is, I guess. But you know, it sucks. If it's something that is a legitimate business that you enjoyed and it is getting closed down and you weren't doing anything illicit or illegal at it, that does suck. All right, shout out to Captain Dark Filbert, who cheered again. He said, okay, sounds good. All right. I think he's doing memeing of how I say things sometimes. All right, well, I think that is it. Yes. Okay, I've covered all the shout outs, guys. All right, so let's double check and let's see where we are subs-wise, because I did not get a chance to do that yet on stream. Let's see if we've gone up or down. We have gone down. Up. We've gone up. I thought we went down. We went up. Cool. We're at 495 subs now. Almost at 500. We could definitely hit 500 on this stream with just a few more people, right? Pretty cool. So again, guys, thank you for your support. I appreciate that very much. So, the other thing I want to do, since it is the beginning of a new week, is I want to give a shout out to the top 10 cheerers. As I told you guys, that leaderboard reset overnight. All right. It reset overnight. So, let's go ahead and let's give credit where credit is due to the top 10 cheerers. Right now, oh, you know what? Woomy actually cheered too. And I saw it in the stream chat. She basically said, what do you mean you're not watching the World Cup? You know, something like that, you know. Basically making fun of me for not liking football. Because I don't. I don't watch football. I don't watch any sports. But Woomy, the reason I didn't see her cheer in my Muxie is because you used the new goal. There's a new goal cheer method. And sadly, Muxie doesn't pick it up. And I don't know why. But it doesn't, okay? So it stinks because, you know, you cheered and I didn't get to see it in Muxie. At least I'm now giving you a shout out, so thank you for that, Woomy. I appreciate your cheer. But anyone who's using that goal cheer command, for some reason Muxie doesn't catch it. So if I don't see it live in the stream chat, I'm going to miss out on it and not be able to give you a shout out, all right? Just a warning. If you guys are going to cheer, you should probably just use a regular cheer command, all right? Okay. By the way, PS Geek just did a 100-bit cheer and said, personally, I will spread the word for you about your channel to see if we can get you more subs. Well, thank you very much, PS Geek. I appreciate that. Word of mouth is key, especially when there's mass slander and defamation against me on the internet. That's untrue. Word of mouth about the truth of stuff is key. All right, so now let's get to the top 10. Oh, hold on. The Last Rambo just cheered. And he says, what kind of television do you have? I have a very old, I believe it's from 2011 or 2012. It was whenever Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was released. I don't remember the exact year. But when that game released, I bought a new TV. I think it's like 40-something or 50-something inches big. And it's an LG. And that's about all I know about it. I looked it up previously on the internet to try to find stats about it. And the TV is so old, it doesn't even have, like, it doesn't explain things like input delay and response time. Because I guess back then they weren't even documenting it. It's like 5, 6, 7 years old. So I couldn't even find information about it when I tried. So that's the TV I still got. That's the TV I'm still using. Okay? Oh, wow. Woomy Girl just cheered again. She says, can you see this cheer now? I did like 6 cheers. When are you going to play Octo Expansion? Yeah, now I see your cheer. I saw none of your previous cheers, Woomy Girl. Sorry. I couldn't see them. She says, when am I going to play Octo Expansion? I don't know what that is. What is Octo Expansion? I never heard of it. I've never heard of it. What is Octo Expansion? Anyone know what that is? Does anyone know what movie's talking about? It's a DLC for Splatoon 2. Oh, I don't have Splatoon 2. No wonder. So the answer is never. There you go. The answer is never. All right. Now, let's give credit to the top 10 contributors. All right. In 10th place, Captain Dark Filber. In 9th, Wumiguro. In 8th, Anonysaurus Rex. In 7th, Game Master 2003 is dead again. In 6th, Zacko 056. In 5th place, Knows Nobody. Excuse me. In 4th place, Golden Colts. In 3rd place, PS Geek. In 2nd, Brunus Martins. And in 1st place, Murdoch. And of course, it is a new week. So, again, chances are, guys, if you cheer, not only will you get onto that weekly leaderboard, but if you get the top cheer and knock off Brunus Martins here, you'll get on the stream stats leaderboard on the top of the screen. If you beat iPepsi's tip of $10, you'll get up there on the top tip. And I will keep a running tally of subs during the course of this stream. Oh, there you go. Concrete Casket just cheered 50 bits and says, I will write your Twitch handle on bathroom stalls to get the word out. That's definitely the kind of attention we're going for here on the stream. Whenever someone's taking a steamy dump in a bathroom stall at some, seedy rest stop, I want them tuning into my stream immediately. Wow. All right, shout out to Band Lark, who did a 100-bit cheer. He says, I was gone about a week. Now I'm banned. Could someone help me? Band Lark, all you needed to do was talk to a mod. You did not have to cheer. But what you should do is try to talk to a mod. Tell the mod your chat name. And what we'll have to do is look into it and figure out what happened. Like I said, I keep all chat logs. So I'll be able to tell you what happened and why you were banned. Maybe it was an error, and maybe we can undo it. All right? But you didn't need to cheer to do that. But I do appreciate the cheer. All right, Infinite55 just did a 500-bit cheer and has unseated Brunus Martins for top cheer of the day. So thank you, Infinite55, for that cheer. I appreciate it very much. And now Band Lark has done a 100-bit cheer and said, thanks, Phil. You're welcome. Hopefully we get to the bottom of it and find out what the heck's going on. And if indeed it was something done in error, hopefully we can remedy it. There you go. Okay. Are we good to go? Whoa, Woomy Girl just cheered again. She says, you little sack of Skittles, I'm going to send you a copy of Splatoon 2 with goodies from Japan. Did you ever get my email? Check your eggs, bacon, and spam folders. I don't think I did. Try again. Email me, darksidephil@hotmail.com, and let me, in the subject line say, hey, it's me, or whatever, so I know who you are. And if I don't get it again, I'll let you know, and then we'll have to figure something else out. I don't think I got it. All right. Are we ready? Are you guys ready for the continuation of Half-Life 2 Ravenholm continuing here? Are you ready? Are you ready? I'm having fun. I hope you guys are liking the playthrough so far. And, alright, I think we're ready. Thank you guys for your support. Let's end the pre-stream. And let's get started with more Half-Life 2. Thanks, everyone, and let's do this.